What is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life. Part of the Believe Network, I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of urbanpitch.com. As always, I'm joined by the co-executive director of Vibes, Julio Monterosa and Bridget Flores. What's going on, y'all?
Hey.
Tired.
Yeah, it was a long weekend for y'all. We'll get into that. It was a long weekend for y'all. We'll get into that. But first, we gotta introduce our guests. We have as always. We only get special guests on the show, but today I'm excited for this one because
super excited.
It's been a while since we had an Angel City FC player on the show, and it's always great to to have the professional players, you know what I mean? Like, because it's been a minute. We've been having,
Angel City.
So it's been a while since we were able to get to a game, so it's nice to have her here. Madison Hammond of Angel City FC is in the building. Madison, what's going on?
I'm very happy to be here.
We got to get that.
I'm honestly super excited. This is the first time I get to be a part of the podcast and interview a female in soccer.
Oh, yeah, because Bridget, she gets sick a lot.
Yeah, so like she goes out a lot.
Listen, that was my birthday weekend, okay? Don't judge me. And that was partially your fault, so
excused absence.
Too many air horns.
It was an excused absence.
Actually, no, we didn't get the teacher's note or the doctor's note, actually. So
I sent my note.
It's still truant in the books, so we're working this out.
Truancy.
Yeah. But Matt, what's going on? It's great to have you on.
Thanks, guys. Not much going on. Just been, enjoying off season a little bit, relaxing. But I was just talking to you guys and letting you know that I'm back training finally, and just really excited for next season. I feel like we had a lot of injuries this past year, and I'm just excited to see what we're gonna do next year.
Of course. What are you doing like on your off season?
Oh, just like back to 6 days. 3 days in the gym, 3 days on the field.
Okay.
I started boxing too, like little cross training.
So don't mess with her.
Yeah. Literally.
She gonna hit you with that one too.
I'm very excited. I've never boxed, and my trainer says that I have a good jab. So.
Okay.
Oh, Creed 3. Hey, Creed 3.
Creed 3's coming out.
Yeah, Creed 3 is coming out.
Literally.
You're gonna see Madison in the back.
Extra. They need extra. Yeah.
Just like in the gym, just trying as hard as possible. And then I saw my sister sent me a video of Michael B. Jordan like actually just doing shadow boxing. I was like, I'm not quite there yet. Maybe not.
Baby steps.
I mean, yeah, you gotta. It takes a while to get onto his level, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm in a feature film boxing movie,
but there's still time. There's time.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. So you've had time to kind of decompress after the season a little bit. It's been a few weeks, but just now that you've had a chance to kind of look back and had a little bit more time to reflect, what are your thoughts on the debut season? Because obviously there's a lot of hype coming into the season. Yes. There's a lot of success, whether it's the attendance, the hype, the buzz. But what are your thoughts on overall on how the first year went?
For me, the thing that stands out is definitely the attendance and just the atmosphere that we've been able to create. And I think it was just really special to be a part of the team that brought soccer back to LA. Obviously with the LA Galaxy and LAFC, there's been men's soccer here for a long time, but to be a part of creating, women's soccer for the long term, I think was really special. And for it to be done in a way where it's not going anywhere, and for us to kind of be role models or kind of the blueprint for marketing and branding and how you can be a very prominent front-facing brand and still elevate your female athletes, I think is something that it's really hard to put into words, just because to be able to experience it. And like I've been on another team, and to kind of see the differences and the impact that it has both for the athletes individually, both on the field and off the field, is really special.
Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Basketball is back, and Bet Online remains your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at Bet Online. And as your continued source for all wagering information, Bet Online features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's NFL, NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag, that's betonline.ag, to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards. Bet online where the game starts.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Me and Ramsey were at the first game, and it was.
I mean, the first game is
Yo.
First game was crazy.
First
Let me
game is
tell
one
you,
for the memory books for sure.
Honestly, the first game, I was telling them, I think we talked about it in one of the podcasts, but for me, I grew up playing soccer. My brother played soccer, so I was just like, I'm going to do whatever he does. So he played soccer, I played soccer. But like besides my brother and like male soccer figures, I didn't have any like female soccer figures to look up to, and I didn't even know that existed.
No,
so
for sure.
At that game, I was just like, I honestly was like, me and all my girlfriends, we were together, and we were like, this is it. Like, we made it. Like, LA has a women's soccer team.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here every time. We were there for the majority of the games.
I love that.
But like, how was that first game experience for you?
The first game at the Banc was unreal, just because the amount of people that were there, the pomp and circumstance, the literal fireworks.
Right.
I think all just went into this perfect moment of us winning the game, and I don't think anyone expected us to win the game, which made it even better.
Yeah.
Right.
To play against North Carolina, they're a very powerful,
Stacked.
like powerhouse
Yeah,
team
yeah.
in the NWSL, and so to kind of have that moment, to be against that team, and for us to kind of make our stamp on the league was just so, it felt just really cool.
Yeah.
And I just remember when the final whistle blew and we were all just hugging each other, because when we were getting ready for the season, that was honestly one of the biggest targets of like, from the front office, from the team, like what's one of the biggest goals. And it's like, you have to win your home opener because that's what gets fans excited. That's what gets the team excited. It gets people to buy in. And so I think it was very important for the group as a collective to kind of seal that, no matter what.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I brought my nieces for the first time to any soccer game they ever been to, and they're like, let's go again. They call me Juju. Uncle Juju, take me again. I'm like, first of all, relax.
I remember that. That was such a cute moment.
Yeah, so like I was able to bring the whole family, my sister, her man, my brother, his girl, and his son. So they were all there the first game as well, and they were like, they were cheering all game, and like I was trying to do all things, like make sure I'm with my friends, make sure I'm with them. So even though it was a crazy moment for me, it was a happy moment because I got to see especially my nieces.
Yeah.
My nephew went to all the LAFC games as well, but my nieces like, I want to play soccer now. I want to play soccer now.
It
So
changes
like,
a lot.
Yeah, I think too, like after the games, I stay and sign way too many autographs, but it's so cute. Like all of the little girls and boys that come up and they're like, can I have your autograph? Can I have your autograph? And you just see like they get so excited, their parents get so excited, and it's just this sense of community that I think is really special, because there are other teams where it's kind of hard to do that because of like how stadiums are set up, or
Right.
how many fans people get at games. The fact that we pack out the stadium every time, it's like you look forward to the end of the game when you can actually interact with the fans and get to meet people and see reoccurring faces and things like that.
Yeah, and in the midst of all those kids is my girlfriend is there
oh, yeah.
too.
So
Yo,
let me give
so
the backstory.
we're
Ramsey and his girlfriend are season ticket holders.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
and she's like, so she played like college soccer. She's like like huge fan, like diehard fan.
She's
like
a beast too.
yeah, we
She knows
watched
how to play.
like if we're not at the Angel City, we went to all the home games. I missed one because I was out of town, but for the most part, we were there. And if we're not watching, we're watching on, Paramount Plus or, CBS or whatever. But she has a pair of shoes that she got, like they're in the Angel City colors, the white and like that kind of like rose gold. And so she gets them signed. Her goal was to get all the players. She wasn't able to get all
I
of
feel
them.
like I signed them.
You definitely did.
Aww.
You did.
I was like, I definitely feel like I signed them.
Yeah, you have. And the 99 is on there. It was like, I'm not just saying this, but it was like the clearest like signature.
Amazing.
She's, like,
I take a
hanging
lot
it-
of pride in my signature.
Yeah,
It's like,
because
need it to look
and you
clear.
can tell because like I think Vanessa Gilles signed it, and it's literally
It was like,
whoa. So no. To her
I'm going to show her that
to her defense, she was hanging her foot over the banister, and I was watching because she was a center back, and like so like Julio is like her number one, and then Vanessa Gilles was like, and she was like literally losing. I have the video on my phone. She was like losing her mind, like getting a signature, and she was like moving her like so like it's not all Vanessa's fault, but still like when you look at her shoe, like all the signatures, I mean, that 99
Mine is just
like,
It's there.
prominently,
it's pristine.
prominently
It's the prime
presented.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Let her know. Talk your mess right now.
No, I do take a lot of pride in my signatures, though.
Do you practice it?
No, but I feel like at this point I've had to do it a lot.
Yeah.
She has a whole notebook.
That's a flex. No, that's a
It's
flex
like,
there,
you know,
though. That's a
do
flex.
you have those books as a kid where
Where
you
you
have to
just,
like
like,
practice
practice?
your letters? I don't
Especially
think those exist
cursive.
anymore, but
They don't
yeah.
teach cursive anymore.
They
No,
don't
they
teach
don't.
cursive
anymore.
Yeah.
I can't.
Listen.
That's a whole other conversation.
Which, I mean, like, honestly caused me a lot of pain in elementary school.
Oh my.
Like, the wrist cramps, but
No,
I'm
I
glad I
don't
know
like
it.
7
cramp.
times
Yeah.
for no reason.
But, I mean, I'm glad I learned cursive.
Yeah,
I think it,
'cause
Yeah.
you know?
now
It pays
one day
off
if someone
now.
asks you for your signature, you'll be
Oh,
ready.
I practice mine.
You'll be ready.
So,
Okay.
He's so ready.
Yeah.
He's got
the notebook.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
got the notebook.
Trust me, all my like high school, college, like notebooks, like you'll just see like every third page would be my
Got a little
signature.
signature.
And I put my number on the on the bottom there too. So
Wow.
you know, it's not worth anything.
And that's how you met Mal.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. No. But I mean, talking about just the atmosphere at the games, you know, whether it was that first match, that first goal that I think Vanessa Gilles actually scored, it would just get so loud there. And you know, we've been to a bunch of LAFC games there, and that place, I mean, it's just a really, really awesome stadium and really
It really
awesome
is.
setting. And you know, you're pretty much like there's no bad seats on the field, so like the atmosphere is there, but it gets loud. How does that compare to like when you play on the road at other places? Like,
Yeah.
how much of a difference does it do you see?
I mean, at the Banc, there are times where you're literally screaming your head off at the person that's 10 feet from you to like shift right or shift left,
Right.
and they can't hear you. So it's definitely frustrating sometimes. Also, it's hilarious when it'll be like a dead ball or the ball will be out of play, going to get a throw in, and then people are randomly cheering, and it's because a random celebrity is put up on the field. And it's, if you're like not in the game, it's like fun to be like, oh, look who's here today. But when you're on the field, you're like, why is everyone cheering?
Yeah.
And it can be a little disorienting. But
It's just Jennifer Garner.
yeah, it's just,
Dwayne Wade. Cabrillo Union.
No big deal.
No big deal.
yeah. But then I don't know, when you're on the road, like there are some places where it's dead and it's just like really quiet and you can honestly hear everything and you're like, okay, I need to stop yelling.
Yeah, we hate you, San Diego.
No, San Diego was
was
also
crazy.
pretty
Yeah,
loud.
San Diego was
Yeah.
pretty
San
lit,
Diego was
yeah.
pretty loud. But honestly, like once you're in the game, like you don't really, you can feel the atmosphere of the crowd, but
You're locked
you're
in.
so locked in that everything kind of melts together. So
Yeah.
you might be in a place where there's 5,000 fans and that feels the same as a place that has 15,000 fans just because you're so locked in on what's going on.
Right.
That flow state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned celebrities, right? So like for you, has there been like a celebrity that has come to one of the Angel City FC home games that you've been like,
I mean, I
Starstruck?
did like 3 double takes when Tyra Banks was there. I was like, should I show her my smiles?
So what do you think? Am I America's Next Top?
No, I thought it was really cool that she was there. But I don't know. I just think it's cool that all the celebrities are there. It kind of feels like the same vibe as like a Lakers game when it's just kind of got that swag element to it. And I think that making soccer cool is sometimes hard in the US. I feel like it's got its own personality in Europe and in
Right.
other places, South America as well. And so I think that the fact that we kind of have our own identity and brand as kind of being just like a cool place to come to watch a soccer game, even if you aren't a diehard fan of the sport, I think just makes the sport, especially for women's soccer, a lot better.
yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, and so I mean, obviously the atmosphere at the games and stuff, and all the stuff like that goes on, whether it's the job the front office did, you know, with the investors and all that. That's, you know, I mean, Julie Ehrman's out here just doing interviews like crazy, like over the last few, and I mean, and kudos to her because she did a really great job. But what about like within the team? Like, what's that dynamic like? Because obviously, when you get a bunch of players like professionals that haven't played together before and expect them to,
Yeah.
you know, like have high expectations
Yeah.
for success on the pitch. And there were moments, I think, you know, where there was like, obviously it wasn't the final result of the season wasn't what y'all wanted, but there was moments where, you know, like things were clicking, things were gelling,
Yeah,
there's a
for
lot of
sure.
momentum. So what was it like both on the pitch, like getting to know the players and then as well as off the pitch too? Cause I know you guys have a good time.
I do think that there was definitely an element of bringing kind of a bunch of misfits together just from different teams and different experiences. Some people being in the league for 5 years, 10 years, some people being in for 0 years to 2 years. And just kind of having a range of experience in terms of expectations and standards. So that combined with also trying to put together a winning season is very difficult just because it adds so many different elements, because it's like, how do you communicate with each other during practice? Well, I'm used to being communicated this way or this way, and I've had coaches like X, Y, and Z. So I think there was a lot of nuance there, but also I think that as the season went on and we kind of as a team had to go through a bunch of different things logistically and just both like practice facility wise, like training out at Cal Lutheran, but playing at the Banc.
Right.
We all are just like, well, it's just another day in the office. And so I think we kind of banded together. And then I think as the season kept going on, it was very clear that it was just going to get harder and harder. So we had to start leaning on each other a bit more. And so I think there was a bit more attention to detail to kind of creating camaraderie. People naturally get closer as time goes on. And so that the whole season, there was no real expectation. I mean, we obviously put it on ourselves to be successful on the field, but I think it's a good runway going into next year because people are closer on and off the field. People have better understanding of expectations, and I think we have a better understanding of where maybe we took a couple missteps this year and like can improve for next year. So I think it's all just positive moving forward.
Yeah. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Cal Lutheran. That's the alumni. That's the alma mater. Shout out to my
baseball.
Kingsmen.
This isn't
and my
a commercial
Eagles out
break.
there.
It's very far. I just
Like I said, the valley's not a
I don't even.
No, that's not even the valley though.
No,
That's not even the
I
valley.
don't even-
That's the valley.
That's the valley.
But
I don't even call it Thousand Oaks. I call it Million Oaks because it's a million miles away.
Ow.
There we go.
Ah.
There we go.
It's so
But
far.
she's
Favorite
not
guest
wrong.
already.
She's not wrong, but that's what makes it hurt even more. I mean, it's a bit of a
very
trick.
far.
It's very far. I
as
mean,
well
the
go to San
campus is
Francisco.
nice though. The campus is nice. You can't. Oh my god.
I honestly, you can't. I went to Wake Forest University. It's got like probably the most beautiful campus in the
Sure.
country.
Okay.
So.
Right. We can't all go.
Unless
D1,
it's like,
so,
unless it's like Pepperdine, which is literally the
Right.
beach.
Pepperdine's nice. Pepperdine's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice
All right.
campus.
Well, that's fine.
The drive out to Million Oaks is beautiful though.
Yeah. Sure. Whatever.
It's lots of hills.
Whatever.
I'm gonna start saying Ramsey's from Millie Oaks now.
I'm not even.
From Million Oaks.
Million Oaks. Hey,
All right. That's enough of that.
Your whole alumni association gonna get so mad.
No, I mean, I'm
gonna
a proud
bang you.
alumni. You can say whatever you want about Thousand Oaks, Million Oaks, whatever you want. But I'll ride or die with Cal.
Honestly,
That's
respect for
my
someone
squad.
who just like preaches their alma mater.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many opportunities for me to do that. So
To shout out Cal Lutheran.
Yeah, exactly,
There you
exactly.
go.
Right. We're no demon deacons, but we can. We know what I'm saying. So I mean, like, how about getting into more about like the team dynamic, because like when it's a new team, right? There's no like precedent of like this is how we do things. Like, so what was that like? Because I mean, we've talked with Didi Haricic and Tyler Lucy before, and they kind of said it was
They say, yeah, we're
pretty
really
warm.
close. Yeah,
it was warm right
Yes.
from the jump. So like, what was that like? Just kind of getting to know everybody. Was it like kind of awkward at first? Was it just kind of instant? Like, what was that like?
I would say my experience was just a little bit different because I came a little bit later. I got traded like mid-March.
That's right. That's right.
So I like started preseason with the OL Reign, and so kind of coming into Angel City, like when it's like the first day of school and you're like, these people are friends, these people are friends, so I'll just eat lunch by myself. Like, it was kind of a little bit like that.
We've been there.
But at the same time, I think that I also came when it was like pedal to the metal soccer wise, and we were like actually getting ready for games. It was less of a kumbaya time. And so I do think that we had a lot of like, oh, it's so nice to get to meet everyone. But then when things started to need to be put together in terms of soccer, it was like, oh wow, this is a lot more stressful than we thought it was going to be. And so it did require a lot of team conversation and kind of just being open and to listening to each other to get the best out of everyone when we came to training every single day. And it was also tough because we had a lot of those logistical things that were kind of setbacks in terms of like having a training field and making sure we had consistent access to things. And so, like I said, we had to really like lean on each other and be patient with one another. And I think it came together, and it was a slow burn, but also I think that now we're better off for it because those relationships are, I think, very foundational to how we're going to continue to do.
Yeah.
How did you find out you were getting traded?
I asked.
Yeah,
okay.
straightforward. You were like, so what's up?
Yeah. I was like,
Where we at?
What we on?
I'm trying to go to LA.
What we on?
You know
I
what
was
I mean?
like,
Am I going to
I
LA
see
or
how
what?
they do it in LA. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to go there.
Yeah, it was literally like, oh, Angel City wants you. I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's go. It was definitely a much more drawn out process than that in terms of like just actually committing to go. I have a lot of great friends up in Seattle, and so it was kind of hard to leave. But at the same time, I was really excited for LA. My sister's from here or lives here, and yeah, I think that LA is just a really good market for off the field, and I just really like my life off the field in LA, and I really liked Seattle, but it's just very different, and so I think I was ready for a little bit of a change.
Yeah, what's it like to call? Because I've seen, you're in billboards downtown and all that
I know,
stuff.
look at you.
Light work,
Yeah, I mean,
light flex.
Yeah, it was like actually a year ago that I was on billboards in New York and LA, which feels crazy to say. I was looking at the pictures actually a couple days ago, and I don't think that moment's ever really gonna hit home. I was like, my face was 10 stories tall. I don't know.
Right? And it was your whole family too, right?
Yeah, and I think that was what made it more special was that I was like, there's a bunch of Indians on a billboard. That's pretty cool. And so that day too, the shoot was just really fun, and Nike made it really incredible. And so I think that will always be filed away as top moment of being a professional.
Sure.
So
yeah. What about other parts of just being in LA? Whether it's just getting into stuff off the pitch, the market, like marketing yourself as, a professional athlete. What was that like for you?
So yeah, I think that living in LA, I've just had so many more opportunities in terms of everything: photo shoots, attending events, being a part of conversations, being on shows like this, kind of just having things that are more built in to elevate you as an athlete. I think that a lot of markets, particularly NWSL markets, really struggle at elevating the female athletes that are in them. But I think LA is great because there are so many built-in things that already exist, and so it's like, oh, it'd be great to be featured on this or participate in that, and I don't think that exists everywhere. And so LA is special in that way because everybody's out here hustling, and so we out here hustling too. But yeah, I think I got to do a lot of cool things this year, and I wouldn't have been able to do them if I didn't live here. So.
Do you have like a favorite moment?
Going to the ESPYs for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The whole team went out.
No, it was just me. Well, me and Kristen Press. Yeah.
What am I thinking?
I've been
of?
to one as well, 2010.
What am I thinking
One
of?
of
The
radio
whole
tickets.
team was out. I remember they're like all in like gala attire.
No.
Was that something else?
Yeah, no.
It was the pink carpet. They were just going to
I'm
play.
making
They were going to play. They were
They're
going
just
to
that
play.
fashionable.
It was just Chris and I from Angel City, which was also very cool.
Yeah.
I have always looked up to Kristen, like I've always thought she's so good. And so now that's one of the things about playing as a pro is like you go from
Your
idolizing
idols.
these
Right.
people. Like
playing
I
with them.
always thought Megan Brampino was the coolest person, and then I played with her and I was like, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever
Right.
played. And then you come to this team and you play with people like Kristen and Sydney LaRue, and it's just mind-blowing, to be
Right.
honest. Every day you're like, okay, I'm done fangirling because now I have to defend you.
Right.
But
And now it's on.
right. But at the same time, I think it's just really special because you can take from all of them, like from their experiences, and just learn.
That's so dope.
So what was your welcome to the league moment when you're like, I'm here now?
Welcome to the league moment. Interesting.
Who megged you? Like,
Nobody megged me.
She doesn't play like
My
you.
welcome to the league moment. I think it was when I had to defend Amy Rodriguez because she's really hard to defend. It was during like one of our fall series games in 2020, and it was me and my roommate at the time. We were like playing next to each other in the back line, and we had to defend A-Rod, and we were like, literally hate our lives. But yeah, that was a good like welcome to the league. Can't really. I don't know.
I mean, that's a pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good
really
moment.
good
one.
You know,
Take
like
that.
it's pedigree.
Yeah.
She brings a pedigree. You know, like she's like hard nosed too. You know.
She's also just like big and strong, and
Yeah,
I'm just like,
exactly,
why
yeah.
are you so big and strong? And like you're 5'1". Why am I? So yeah.
But I mean, you mentioned playing in LA. There's obviously like a kind of a championship culture that comes with playing in LA, and obviously
For sure.
over the weekend, LAFC, won the MLS Cup in thrilling fashion. We got two
Black and
diehard
gold, baby.
LAFC fans
Are you
here.
guys
So.
diehard fans?
I don't know about Die Hard, but I'm a fan.
I mean, they're
But
fans of
diehard
partying.
because-
They're fan of partying.
I go there,
at the Banc.
yeah.
No, it was
Dang.
definitely
We don't die, we just go
definitely
hard.
a party.
Definitely. I've been to, I think I missed like 2 games
Yeah.
this season.
So he's just a
So-
diehard.
He's the
Yeah.
Sunset Terrace or Sunset Club
Sunset.
Oh, wow.
regulars.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been there for like 5 years now, so
Yeah.
I can finagle my way into places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I still am like a pseudo Sounders fan, but I'm also an LAFC fan.
Oh my God.
I know. We'll cut it.
We'll give her one more year. She'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
No,
black
but
and
like
gold.
LAFC, I went to a couple games this year, and I just like happened to go to the final. I didn't really plan on it, but then it was great. It was very fun, and I don't really watch the MLS all that often. Like I feel like every morning I wake up and watch the Prem, and so then
Right.
I'm like
Right.
not watching MLS during the week. But then like being there at the game, like you said before, the Banc is just an incredible atmosphere,
Yeah.
and the fans are so fun. It
Right?
just
Yeah.
makes
It's
the
another
fan
level.
section is so fun, and you just like some of the cheers are kind of similar to the Angel City ones,
Right.
so you know them, and it just makes it really fun.
Right.
Yeah,
I
so all
know.
three of you were at the final.
Yeah.
I was, I was
Yeah,
watching
so
from
you
home.
weren't
I was
there.
not there. I was
You
watching.
missed
I was
out.
outsider for that game, but
I mean, that game went as long as it possibly could have. It could not
All
have
the
gone any longer.
emotions, all of the emotions, all of the like everything you could think
Yeah.
of going like
Literally,
through, you
It
went
had
through that day.
everything. Had
Literally.
overtime, injuries, PKs.
PKs,
Do the
everything.
Oh, that was really sad.
crazy.
Yo,
It was
I really
crazy.
loved when they played Mana and everybody started singing.
Oh, that was before they went to penalties.
Before
yeah.
we went to penalties. Oh my God, that was so amazing. Like I was singing, but then I saw a video of the stadium when
And
they
then
played
everyone
the song.
was singing.
Yo, that was, oh my God, I love that moment. That was so dope.
Are you gonna cry?
No. I was pretty drunk at that time. I was like, not gonna lie. I was like, ugh.
No, it was so dope. It was so dope.
Wait, why are they lining up? What's going on?
Yeah, okay. Isn't the game over?
Did we
This is
lose?
the first time at the Figueroa Club they cut down like selling drinks.
They stopped They stopped selling drinks.
So I'm like, what's going on here? I just want another beer.
he didn't know how to act.
I did not.
Like,
I was not on my
mean?
best behavior.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. So like, I usually go to the games, but I'm like, not really watching the games. I'm like, intermingling with people.
Right.
So
Mr. Social over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
The-
that's
I mean,
the
he's
LAFC
the
games.
co-executive
Yeah.
director vibes. You know what I mean? He's doing his job at this point.
I have him doing the groundwork, and I'm just there.
She's more executive level. And he's like,
more people relations.
he's on the
Uh,
ground.
This is
like,
the
he's-
networking official.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. So I was drinking a beer and I was like, and then like I happened to walk back, and then like we're down to go, and I'm like all sad, and as soon as I'm looking at the field, I see Gareth Bale get up and go, and I'm like, go. I dropped my beer. I was sad because they were not selling any more beer. I was like, okay, go.
No, what happened to me was we were 1-1, right? Second half. And I was just like, dang, I kind of have to pee. And I was like, do I go now? Do I go later? I was like, let's just go now. What's going to happen in like 2 minutes? And I run to the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, and I just hear, And I was
That's
like,
the worst.
no. Like, there's no, I'm yelling
Yeah,
at
and
the
then
lady
they
next to me
fumbled
in
the
the
bag.
stall. She was like, what the? And I was like, what? So I run out, and I'm like, cheering because they scored,
And
and
then
then they scored on
they
us, and I was
scored
like, I
again.
didn't even get to like.
I was
celebrate.
furious. I was like, what is this game management? This
Right?
is terrible. Why are you fouling him? He's
Who's
facing away from the
controlling
goal. I sound like such a nerd.
Definitely. So like that's when I watch TVs. I don't watch games on TV because I find myself not even looking at the game. Like I'm analyzing every single
Yeah.
player. So I'm like, this is not fun for me. One of my roommates play pro
because there's
soccer.
no Figaro club at your house. That's why you don't go to.
You gotta
that's why
watch
you don't
it.
Yeah, I don't have
There's
Figaro
no
Soccer.
Sunset Terrace waiting for you at your home.
So my roommate played pro. So like at the moment analyzing everybody's play. Like, he should have went right. He should have went left. I'm like, I'm not even going to watch the game anymore.
I know. We went back to one of his friends' house to watch the highlights, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you remember?
No.
Wait, so how'd y'all get tickets? Because I know that it was pretty exclusive. Did the team hook you up with that?
Yeah, I literally happened upon tickets.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Must be
Adidas.
Nice.
That's how you.
For
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
you know him.
I shout out to Alexander.
Yeah.
Etcha.
Yeah.
I have an Adidas plug that helps me out. Set his own
He
name out.
always finds a way.
It's
He
not
always
what
finds
you
a
know,
way.
it's who you know.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
That part.
Exactly. But
That
she's
part.
Nike, Team Nike though.
I am Team Nike.
Yeah.
Swoosh gang.
Yeah.
Checks over stripes.
But I like.
Get it how you live.
No, but so you mentioned the billboard, obviously Nike billboard. You've got some press, being the first Native American player to play in the league. What was that like? I don't know if you did like a press tour, because it seemed like all of a sudden I was seeing all the all the stories, but just being able to function as like a role model and I know you talked about that a little bit, but what was that whole process like? What did it mean to you, and what was that experience?
I definitely did not see myself as a role model at first. Someone else told me that I was the first Native American to play in the league. And I was like, we are going to have to triple fact check, please.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I've kind of just grown into it in the last 3 years since being a pro. And I can't believe I'm going to be in my 4th season, which is crazy. But I don't know. I've just made it less of a responsibility and more of an opportunity, and kind of seeing the positive impact that I can have on people. And again, going back to all the fans that you get to see after the games, and if maybe one of them looks like me, then hopefully I'll be doing another Native American Heritage Month press tour with someone with me or behind me. And that would honestly be the goal. And that would be really exciting for me. But I think overall, the journey has just been mostly about my craft and just like the work. And then when people ask is kind of when I remember like just carrying myself in spaces very authentically, like who I am, how I've been raised, carrying my culture forward, and like being very proud of that, just because literally no one else kind of has those experiences in this space. So
Yeah. And sometimes I think that does come with pressure, because you have to, if you are the only one, then you have that expectation on you.
For sure. But I think that there are moments where I'm like, oh, this is like, is it because I'm the only one? But at the same time, I'm like, even if it is because I'm the only one, like no one else can carry this message forward right now. Right. And so I might as well do it to the best of my ability.
It's got to be somebody.
Yeah. And you're paving the way for a lot of first of anything, first to one.
That's an inside joke, because it's a long story, but he basically said LAFC was going to be the first to won, like the first championship. He meant to say fastest amongst the LA teams. So I mean, he's gotten his fair share.
So yeah, I can't go to Galaxy
but
games.
he's right though. I
can't go to Galaxy games because they're not fond of me right now. But
why?
Because I guess he took it as an insult.
Oh
yeah. He's a home meme now.
Yeah, I was a home meme for like a month or so.
It was like a miss. He misspoke, but like we all knew what he was saying. I didn't know what he was saying in the moment, but then
afterwards,
like,
I get it.
No, I think he created the meme. It'd be your own people. It'd be your own people.
Well, because he said it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Like, but I mean, with LA having all these championships, I mean, Galaxy is 5. Now LAFC is 1. Is there pressure now for Angel City?
Definitely.
I mean, there's definitely pressure. It's LA. It's like you perform or you don't, and so I think. But I don't think we feel the pressure. I think that this league is so competitive that anybody can win, but that's what also makes it exciting, is it could be us. Yeah. And we didn't make playoffs this year, which was definitely the goal, but it was very attainable. And so again, just kind of like learning from those mistakes and being able to learn how to manage certain moments, I think will be really important for next year. And so since we've learned those lessons this year, like hopefully we'll be able to make playoffs next year and put ourselves in a position to bring a championship here sooner rather than later.
Right. I mean, because the parity is crazy. Like, because I mean, you didn't make the playoffs, but you were playing meaningful soccer till the end of the season. Like
Literally.
you were like,
there was a world where we could have still made playoffs on the last day.
yeah.
We definitely did not want it to get down to the last day, but the fact that there was still a slim chance was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Ramsey gave me the whole breakdown. Like, this team has to lose. Ramsey's
got like
of
the
course, San Diego didn't take care of business though.
I
San Diego,
know,
we need one thing from San Diego, and they can't
do it.
I know.
That's what we get for trying to rely on them.
Yeah, you can't rely on San Diego, but they credit to them. They had a great season, and
of course.
They were in the driver's seat the entire season, and so
yeah.
for them to do as well as they did is really good for expansion teams and good for us Cali teams. But at the same time, I was like, I wish that had been us.
But I mean, so I think, and we've talked to a couple. We talked to Kaylin Sheridan and Katie Johnson, and they kind of talked about how, Angel City came from like almost like, I don't want to say opposite because it's not opposite, but like I feel like Angel City wanted to build from,
Marketing side.
The marketing side, and then you can always, grow the team from there. But I mean, from a sustainability standpoint, that was like always a big priority for Angel City. Whereas San Diego, talking to Katie and Kaylin, they were all about professionalism, building a team, and doing that. And kudos to them because they did a great job.
They couldn't laugh at practice.
Yeah, right. They're saying because I mean Katie was saying how she did the whole pregame outfit stuff with Chicago and she saw like Angel City doing all that and she was like there's kind of like not like a longing for that.
They're jealous. It's okay.
Yeah, right. But then at the same time, like she was saying, we come from a more professional side. They're all about the vibes. We're all about the results. So what was that like rivalry like with the two new teams in California?
So I think rivalries in this league are super interesting. I came from a team that has the longest rivalry.
Yeah, pretty big one.
And so that rivalry is like blood deep, like
right.
And so to be a part of a new rivalry where literally everything can be compared category to category, California team, definitely think that one team focused more on the marketing and branding side and one team really focused on the soccer ops side. And I think it's been really interesting to see how both of those have played out because there's pros and cons to both.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that rivalry has kind of made it also really, I don't know if it's blood deep yet, but it's skin deep because I still have friends on San Diego, whereas like on Portland, like I don't really have
They
any
were saying
friends.
F Seattle in their victory tour and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's very, you don't really have, I think I have like one friend.
We can't say it. Yeah.
Or maybe two friends. But I don't know. I think it just makes the rivalry exciting for the future because I think that California fans are also crazy. And so even when we went down there and it was 32,000 fans, our section was louder.
Yeah. I was there. I was
in
that section.
One of those,
I would just like to say our section was louder and that was so cool because we do have better fans. And
Let's
so we do have better fans. It's a fact. And so I think that, when you look like for next year and stuff like that, especially because we won when we won at home and they won at home. So next year, what we gonna do? What we about to get into?
I know.
What a dramatic goal at the end. We were there at that game as well.
Oh,
San Diego.
Yeah, that game was amazing.
Yeah. And we had a chance to tie it up at in San Diego, but I mean,
it's okay.
we were playing. I mean,
go off, go off, King.
Like we just, I think for me, like watching, like it was just like we always were in it, and whether it was from a game to game basis or from the season, like it was always like we were playing competitively, and it wasn't like, I mean, with an expansion team, there comes with like expectations, right? There's like. You understand, like, okay, this is the first year, and it's not always going to be like San Diego where everything clicks, right? That's like the exception, not the rule, right? So I think there was that kind of like, but they're doing this, but then you realize like that doesn't happen all the time. So I think, to me, I was happy that we were playing meaningful soccer in the last game of the season, and to me, just everything that happened was like off the pitch from an atmosphere point of view, and I have a couple of friends who are Angel City fans too, and we've gotten into it, like because they're like, like why is San Diego doing all this? And I'm like, like come on, like this is like a rare case, but I mean, like that's just my point of view.
I think too, when you kind of look at it on the field, so when you have like you look at the larger season, the hardest part is scoring.
Yeah.
In terms of team chemistry, team flow. And so to kind of have like a player like Kristen go down with an injury, us have like Simone was in and out of injuries in the beginning of the season. So scoring is the hardest part for any team, doesn't matter. You add in that we're an expansion team, you add in that we have these injuries, and then by the time you get to the middle of the season, your scoring kind of starts like falling into place. You start clicking more in the final third and things like that. Then you get to the end of the season, and that's when fatigue and like a crammed schedule like ours ended up being.
It was ridiculous.
So that's when
like,
things
what
like
are we doing?
That's when things like that start happening. But also you have to kind of fall back on some of those basics. And so I feel like we got halted at certain points. So hopefully next year it'll be like, okay, the scoring, well, hopefully we're scoring out from the jump. But at the same time, it's not unusual for scoring to not be happening. But it should put us in a better position next year to have like a better flow.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you can be in it in as many games as you want, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I think that will probably be a focus for us next year is like, how are we more dangerous and just like put games away instead of just la la la, we're in every game. We can pass as much as we want, but we need to score.
Yeah. So, and I think he will bring it next season. I think just the way that you're analyzing it, you will bring it as a whole group, as a whole team. But I will say, like, as an LA native, as a female, like, you all brought what you needed to bring that first season, like the community aspect, the representation, the environment, like a place for us to fit in. Like, I kid you not, like every time I would just look at my one of my like good friends, Demi, and we'd just be like, what the hell? Like, they're here, like they represent us. Like, you know, like growing up, I could have had an opportunity to be there if I had the right resources, if I had the right people looking at me. But now that I have, you know, a team like Angel City representing LA, representing women, like I work in education, so I work with kids. So like now I have someone to tell them like, you could be the next Angel City player. You could be the next, you know? And it's just like, it just feels so good to have that. And I think that overall, and I will always say this, overall, like Angel City, their first season, their first year, they brought what LA was missing, which was a community for females, for anyone that identifies as, you know, LGBTQ plus, just like to have somewhere to feel good and to like represent.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah.
And the vibe of the stadium, like,
amazing.
We always compared it to LAFC, but it was completely different. Like,
It's
definitely.
It's like its own thing. Completely
Super welcoming.
like a different game.
Yeah. Everybody loves each other. Like even the opponents, like we're just like, what's up? They're like, what's up? Like San Diego, we're like LA. You cannot do that LAFC though. They'll tear you down.
They will tear you down.
It
is crazy.
Yeah, it
is.
Like, Julio,
but it's another reason.
No, I stay in the Figueroa Club. I stay with
you stayed.
He's on the Sunset Terrace.
He's like, I don't know about that life.
I'll stay away from the drama. I'm there for a good time,
I'm just
not a long
sipping
time.
cocktails and, you know.
Give me a cocktail, leave me alone. Let me watch the game.
All you can eat pass, everything, huh?
Hey, yeah.
but you talk about the off-pitch experience, because I think what I'm a big proponent of, you know, making, like, giving like putting an importance on like off the pitch stuff, and you know, that's a lot what we cover at Urban Pitch. But like even something as not simple, but like as, you know, like straightforward as, you know, just doing the pregame outfit, like photo shoots and things like that. Like I think that is a huge thing in like making creating a bigger buzz, and, you know. But what was it like being a part of a team that kind of put an importance on it? Because I know like that was kind of like you guys were putting together stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely a leader in that. I love the pregame. I mean, my sister could tell you every week I'd be like, all right, I got to figure out what I'm going to wear this week. It's more important than the game at this point.
Right. Forget strategy. Like we're talking
literally.
We're not even playing.
Oh, I need to hydrate. No. I got to go shopping. But I think too, it was just the fashion in particular. It's very cool to see your teammates' personalities kind of come. I think fashion is a way where kind of people's personalities come through. And so to talk about like, oh, those pants, where'd you get those pants? Like, okay, shoes, okay, hat. And so to kind of just see people's confidence before games. Because when you look good, you feel good, and then you play good, blah, blah.
Right.
So
that's a science. It's a scientific
science.
Sweet science.
So I loved doing that. I mean, I thought that was really great. But also it was the camaraderie of being like, oh, do you have something to wear for the game? Like, can I wear this? And borrowing from people and just, it's just fun.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that.
Instead of having to stress about the game, you just like, oh, can I come pick up this shirt from your house? Like, yes, you can.
Dang.
So, yeah.
So next season, Ramsey's dream is to walk the pink carpet.
Oh my gosh.
He talked about it all season, honestly.
He has a whole
It was
fist
ridiculous. I'm like,
prepared.
bro, just let it go.
The first anyone has ever said about this, but I mean, you go ahead, guys. Keep going.
If I love you,
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, so like, if you can make it happen, please. Ramsey would love to
sent
walk
us
the pink
pictures.
I
carpet.
literally
He's
don't even know
like-
how I would make it happen. Like, get you an access pass, I guess.
Yeah,
But
we need a photo shoot for him.
they'd be like,
send
who
us-
is this? Be like, I don't know.
You know, but
He got
Julio's
his poses all like.
he's trying to embarrass me, but
An
like I'm
outfit
like
is
it's
ready.
not like it's not facing me. It's, you know.
Because it's true. Like,
I kind of love, though, that it's like the pink carpet. Because
Right,
we're like,
yeah.
oh, this carpet happens to be pink. But everyone's like, oh, did you see the pink carpet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made a name for it.
So who's the best dressed player on the team then? Who, like, if you need to borrow something from someone, who are you going
Me.
you can say yourself.
No,
There you go.
I think Lily Nabet has probably the best
yeah.
fashion sense on the
to?
team.
She's got some kick game. She's got the shoe game.
she's
on
just
point.
swaggy, and she just always puts something together. I'm like, I would not think that would match, but looks good on you.
Yeah. So I mean, like, this is wait. Before we start wrapping it up, are y'all good? Anything else that y'all want?
No, if I can get on a pink carpet as well.
That's what, yeah. So he's like
Okay,
he's trying to
we'll
say
be
me, but
getting-
you do it just as much.
We'll be
My
getting-
dream, like, honestly.
We'll be getting Urban Pitch on a media pass.
Yo.
There you go.
And getting y'all on the pink carpet.
Okay, yeah.
2023.
The media pass is already there. We just got to
2023.
get.
I was
we just
there all
gotta get
game,
the
thanks to
inside-
the media pass.
inside access
2023.
into getting. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we're
It's
gonna
the
make that
important
happen.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been making it happen. But before we wrap things up, because I know you got things to do. We got things to do.
No, I just got dinner to eat.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
Same.
important. Very
Important,
important. Like,
Girls
you know
gotta
what I mean?
eat.
Like that. My life revolves around that stuff.
For
So
sure.
so yeah. But before we wrap things up, we always finish off with the rapid fire round where Julio
gosh.
just give some
right.
quick fire questions.
This
This
before
is
he
the
puts
most
you on
nervous
hot
I
seat.
felt.
No, you're good. So, all right. Good shoes, bad fit. Good fit, bad shoes.
Good shoes, bad fit.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely
That's the
don't.
right answer. It's the only answer.
Favorite place that you didn't lay since you've been here?
Anna Jack Tie. It's in the Valley.
Yeah, I know that
It's
place.
in Sherman Oaks.
I know that
Nice.
place. Yeah.
Oh,
like
Wow, everybody's always talking about, oh yeah, you got to go to this place in Silver Lake, you got to go to this place in Santa Monica.
Silver
Silver
Lake.
Lake ramen is also really good.
Silver Lake Ramen,
Yeah.
yep.
Big fan.
All right. LA Galaxy or LAFC?
LAFC, baby.
That's
Oh.
what's up.
I mean, look at
She
that
knows the
real good.
audience. She knows the audience.
Here first.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite place to go in the night in LA?
Oh.
What city? What do you like to do for fun?
Oh. I don't know. I like to do everything. I don't know. It's usually around like food or wine or the beach. I don't know.
Okay.
Best beach in LA though.
Yeah, that's one best beach in LA.
I do like Malibu Beach.
Malibu, yeah.
Shout out to Santa Monica
What is
as
it?
well.
What's it? Will Rogers. Will Rogers
in
is a
Topanga.
nice. Yeah, it's a nice beach.
Yeah, State
Yeah.
Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
That's basically it. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
having me. This
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
Lots
great
of
time. It's
fun.
always
Definitely
good.
will get you on the pink carpet. Well, at least we'll try. I'm gonna put that I will try.
I have
out
a whole
there.
outfit ready.
We could be
That's
As long as it's good shoes, that's
yeah.
fine.
Oh yeah.
Good
we
shoes,
get the
bad
shoes.
fit is
The shoes are
acceptable.
covered. The shoes are covered. Everything
That's
is.
the
You
last
build it
thing.
from the bottom up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shoes and
You know,
Fashion
you know.
Nova.
Yeah. He's a Fashion Nova. Oh my god. All right. Well, Madison Hammond, thank you so much for joining the
you,
show.
guys.
We really appreciate it. We'll be following you. I know the off season's short. It feels like a
Don't
long
remind
time,
me.
but yeah. So I mean, you'll be back on the pitch in no time, and we'll be right there watching you. But we really appreciate you coming on. I know you got a busy schedule and whatnot. But for Julio Monterosa, Bridget Flores, Madison Hammond, I'm Ramsey Abushala. This has been the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. We got some, we got some episodes coming up, but until then, we're out.
We out. We out.